Good day. This presentation will be about projects that combine research with education and practice, or R&D with training of staff if you're not from a university. The examples I will give relate to solar decathlon competitions. But what is a solar decathlon? It is a competition between student teams from all kinds of countries building a sustainable house that is assessed on 10 criteria, hence the term decathlon. The US Ministry of Energy started with one in 2006. In the year 2010 it came over to Europe, of which this is a picture of the Madrid edition. Let me give you the first example of one of my own student teams. After 2 editions in Madrid, students of TU Delft wanted to partake in the competition in France. This was held in the Forgotten Gardens of Louis XIV, the Sun King. Quite fitting for a solar decathlon. This was a ground plan for it. Most of the teams designed and constructed a prototype that resembled a new building, but my team went for a dwelling that presented a bigger challenge back home. A terraced house from 1960 that had a bad energy and sustainability performance. I won't go into detail, but with the help of faculty advisors like myself and companies from practice, the students managed to create a zero-energy sustainable home. And this is what it looked like. Not really sexy, but very daring compared to the other entries. The prototype was built as a house that stood model for the team. On TU Delft's testbed site it still stands and it's inhabited by people. The second example is from 2019, when the solar decathlon was held in Szentendre, which is in Hungary. The second team I was happy to supervise again went for a reuse case. This time it concerned the transformation of an empty office to affordable apartments, which is a great challenge in many northwestern European countries. The redesign, as it was made, boasted a green inner garden with fresh air inlet and circular infill concept, so that the building later could be easily reused again for another purpose. On the outside, energy generation was to be established by a vertical solar facade because the tower does not have sufficient roof space. Back in 2019, vertical PV was rather innovative, and the PVT chimney certainly. At the site of the solar decathlon, this is what the prototype looked like. It was meant to resemble a cutout from the original tower. The greater green panels you see on the facade are the vertical PV, photovoltaics. The third example brings me to 2022, right after the COVID-19 period. The competition was then held in Wuppertal, Germany. In this final example, the new students wanted to improve the social circumstances of people in existing tenement flats. This type of building is often on the list to be demolished. My team wanted to avoid this demolition by topping up the old building with new apartments. And this is what it would look like. 2 layers of new apartments on top of a tenement flat, covered with the newest vertical PV that was a print of an ancient painting. This top-up intervention would enable the renovation of the building underneath and supply the entire building with energy. A reverse parasite. For the solar decathlon, we could of course not build the entire tenement building, so the students chose to construct a renovation part, a top-up element above and a vertical stairwell beside it. Here you see it in Wuppertal. Again, the blue printed panels are vertical PV. These projects, which are only briefly presented to you, are nice examples of how you can combine research with education and practical experience. They taught students creativity and innovation from concept to execution and testing in real life. I think that knowledge and experience stick with people much better than learning from books. So, try to combine these elements in your daily practice as well. And if you are not from a university, testing R&D in real time and simultaneously using it as a means of training course will give you and your colleagues the best experience you can have. Good luck. See you next time.